What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Kicking Knowledge. Today, I want to take a look at security, finances, wealth in astrology, and give you a couple of placements that attribute towards one's ability to accumulate wealth, to be born into wealth. So, let's get into it. That's Cancer season, and I'm talking about this during Cancer season because the more I grow and explore and understand Cancer and Cancer energy, I really see just how that connection towards security and home, right? How it all intertwines. So, in a simple sense, family, home, our possessions, these are all the things that provide security as well as help build a sense of identity. So as we go and continue to evolve into this age of Aquarius and you know, Pluto and Capricorn passes out, a lot of people will have to, or a lot of us will have to reevaluate our relationship with those things I mentioned, but specifically the translation to how that is here and how it defines our sense of self, our actions, our values, so on and so forth, you know? So the first, when it comes to wealth and accumulating that, it's essentially, metaphorically, a symbol for power. Power. We know in astrology, power is corresponding to Pluto. So to first evaluate that ability and all of that, you'll want to see where Pluto is in a person's chart. So when you get Pluto naturally in one of the earthy houses, 2nd, 6th, 10, this is setting someone up for the ability to really manifest within the material realm some form of power. Then the signs connected to those areas will show, you know, what expression that is connected to, or furthermore, how they go about that. So you want to look at Pluto, and then how is this person how can they accumulate their fortune or build on its power? Whatever planets are connected towards Pluto. Then we got to go ahead and evaluate aspects. So the funny thing about aspects is, like, you have soft aspects and you have hard aspects. So this is where I want to go ahead and give you guys kind of differentiate a bit in regards to building your own wealth and being born into it. From what I've seen, we can have Pluto in these particular houses that I mentioned, right? And let's say there are soft aspects, say trines and sextiles connecting. So let's say you have a Pluto in the 2nd, sextiling Venus in the 4th, or Mars in the 4th. This can definitely indicate being born into wealth and having natural conveniences and, you know, having those needs met early on. And a lot of times, you know, you got to go really far to or make some bad decisions to sever those Pluto ties, because say a situation is playing out where you are born into the wealth and you yourself, when in adulthood, haven't necessarily built your fortune realistically, and it's always been that way. People don't really get cut off from family, but let's say you do, and using the same energies involved, this can translate where this individual, let's just say they're not necessarily, they don't have to work for these conveniences. They may go ahead and attract a said partnership, or even have powerful friends or whatever that just help them maintain those little certain conveniences. In the long run, this chart could be indicating that this person actually needs to cultivate a sense of hard work and, you know, take a page from the family he was born into. But like I said, that goes with fully evaluating. Now, Same scenario, but let's throw like a square on here. Let's say from like the second to the fifth, third to the sixth, whatever you want to do it, right? And then we paint a scenario in which individual, they could be born into poverty or they could just be regular. But I want to give it to you in the sense of let's put that Pluto in the fifth, right? This is someone who their desire is to come into their own uniqueness and personal power, and not necessarily even motivated by the wealth. But let's say it's making that eighth house square or that second house square. By them trying to develop the self or really play towards the Pluto in the fifth, which is not going to come easy. That square is the tension that's like, I want to be seen. I want to be known, right? And it's not comfortable. That propels someone towards achievement, okay? That propels them towards accruing the wealth of that personal power through efforts. So this is kind of a difference, you could kind of look at to evaluate, how's this person accumulating wealth, right? Were they born with it? Do they have to work for it? How should they go about getting it? So, like I said, Pluto, and wherever Pluto is in the chart, you really want to evaluate that because power is connected to that. So let's say we put Pluto in the ninth, right? Or the third. This is houses of the mind. So not necessarily, like I said, the motivation isn't like, okay, I want to build an empire from this position, but there can be things done within that realm, let's say, of publishing, writing, other creative endeavors, public speaking, in which the person channels the personal power of that house, and then that results into gains, because it's all about how you look at it. Like, what if you look at current as energy, the more you express into your power, the more energy that allows you to wield. Okay, so some food for thought right there. Next position, Venus. Venus. You want to look at what Venus is doing, okay? And Venus, you want to look at Venus in sign, you want to look at Venus in house. Venus corresponds to money and really how we use those resources or finances to create further, okay? And the key thing, Venus is also the planet of attraction and love. So there's a key here, right? You gotta have a certain level of determination and other elements to tap into to attract what you want. But at the end of the day, you have to have a deep love for it, or money is attracted towards love. Okay. There's more to that, but I invite you to kind of think about that. Why does Venus correspond to money? What signs does Venus rule? What houses does Venus rule, right? So wherever Venus is in your chart is going to show, how you can generate that income, how you can do what you love. And based on the sign is going to show kind of what Venus allows you to attract with that. So if we get the Scorpios, we get the Taurus, we get the Capricorns, these are gains. These are really opening up. And we get Venus in certain positions, let's say like Venus in the 11th, which is the house of gains, in like great alignments, just to show someone who, is a child star, right? Finds their niche early, okay? And they're the breadwinner early on in life, and so on and so forth. So you definitely want to pay attention to Venus, right? And then the contacts Venus is making. And then furthermore, the motivation. This is to show like how the person feels about Venus things, including money. Okay? So, and then that goes hand in hand with attraction. So you will attract what you truly desire. So if success, it goes in line with like success. Success is what you define it to be. Because someone could be rich with $50,000 and someone could be broke with 100 million. It's all about how you are relating to that, okay? So my next point is essentially there's going to be many different positions that can trigger big wealth and manifestation of that. So everyone has these sweet spots, these different yogas. It's just a matter of studying and understanding what best opens up those avenues, okay? So just to give, a hint for you want to evaluate house rulership, mutual reception, all of these things. And then that brings me to like this next part. Then you'll definitely want to evaluate transits. Transits are the triggers. Transits by progression, solar return, all of these things. So when we get into the nitty-gritty of like the research, these are what you're going to need. So if a person becomes a millionaire, you're going to need to see, okay, what transit did you make your first million under, right? Or what was the time period in which things were going really, really well? So put it like this: when it comes to the outer planets, we really see that influence, okay? So you will have, like, let's say after a person reaches their Saturn return, their transiting Saturn could be making an aspect with a planet in their money house, which coincides with the progressed period in which the person is in, okay? More basically, we could say, like, let's say you have, like, let's say your natal north, your natal Jupiter is in Taurus, and then you have like the transiting North Node in Uranus here, and it goes over those positions. These can be time periods that are very fruitful for you, money-wise and all of that, okay? So Neptune is funny with it because Neptune represents dreams coming true, but at the same time, it represents losses, okay? And then Jupiter is expansion. So Jupiter's like big money. So what I'm getting at is that the different combinations that the planets make are what really helps trigger or manifest the type of wealth or the scenarios in which it comes in, okay? And one more thing is, like, even is going as far as like, say you were born with your chart ruler or house ruler of a particular, like, 10th house retrograde, and it was retrograde for the first 15, 20, 30 years of your life, who knows? And then it goes direct. That can be a whirlwind that really opens up things. So this is kind of like the fun part. And in my classes and stuff, we take a look at like individual charts, and everybody's different. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join us. Reach out via email. But it's a little bit about some astrology secrets for wealth and all that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you could do so now. If you need a reading, send me an email. Till next time, peace.